Hi everyone, so this is a mini WOW hour and I'm here with a very lovely and very young, considering the industry that we are in, Tristan. So would you tell us a little bit about your business first of all?
Okay, so our business is a family business called Hartey Wealth Management. We're based up in Chester and Shropshire, so 2 offices. We've been going for 4 years now as a family business. My father ran a previous business for 25 years and we set up a new one once I'd graduated and got qualified, with the idea of, so we've got that sort of succession plan as well for our clients. We mostly deal with wealth management clients. We do a little bit obviously insurance side, but the majority of it is wealth management. We are fully independent and we design our own model portfolios. We don't use DFMs at the moment either.
Very good, thank you. So let me ask you, so what, describe, what does WOW mean to you?
So WOW, it's a difficult one, but ultimately it's always about service. So when I think about when I was a kid and my parents would go somewhere, normally the restaurants you'd go to, you could have the best food in the world, you could go to a Michelin star restaurant, but if the service isn't there, you'd never go back. So I think an example, maybe not so much now, but in the past, was Morton's Steakhouse. You used to go in and they keep a file on you no matter whichever one you go to. So if you go a lot, they start to know who you are. So you'd walk in and they'd know that I used to like their chocolate Godiva fondant cake. So they'd already have ordered that for me and it would arrive and it was free because it was an extra little touch because they knew that a child wanted that. There's also, my favourite bar in Chester is a Prohibition style bar. When I go in, they know exactly which drinks I want. I'm friends with the owner, but he's told all his staff that when I'm in there, I want my old fashions with a certain type of whiskey. And he always makes sure he's got that bottle behind there. So I will then tell people, well, this is the level of service they do to me, which recommends it back out to them. And really for me, the WOW experience is all about making people talk about you and want to come back to you.
Very good, I think that's absolutely spot on. So tell me what you think are the biggest challenges that face, well, either you, your business, or financial services in general right now?
Well, I think there's 2 sides to it. One is a challenge, one is an opportunity. I think one of the biggest problems we've got in our industry is we are an aging industry. And I have a feeling that in 5 to 10 years' time, there doesn't seem to be enough younger advisors coming through the ranks. Because you no longer have the banks or people like that, or the old Prudentials or Sun Life, Allied, Dunbar, who used to train people, who many of the advisors who are still around may have been trained by one of those people. That doesn't exist anymore. So what's going to happen when all the advisors start to retire? Now, many of course may sell their practices to larger companies, but if they want to retain that independent side, I think it's incredibly difficult. So for me, independence is vitally important. We never plan on selling our business to anyone who's not independent. And as a family business, we're not really looking at sales in terms of selling our business at any point, because eventually my father will retire and I'll continue to run the business, which we do find is a good side from our point of view is clients like that, because they know that, let's say we have a 50 or 60-year-old client, they know that when they come to retirement, their advisor is not going to disappear. They've got someone who's going to be there for the next 20, 30, 40 years, or however long that may be, although saying those numbers is quite scary at the age of 26. And I think the biggest challenge our industry really has is, where is it going to be in 10 years' time? Are we going to have enough advisors out there? Are we going to have the right quality, or are they all just going to be trained through, say, the St James's Place School and all end up just being part of one restricted company? And the idea of networks as well, I think, is something that's people are becoming less and less independent. So if people really want independent advice, it can be quite difficult to find. On top of that, it's expensive to do the independent advice side from a smaller company with the rules and regulations coming through from the FCA. The minimum amount of money you have to hold on account, it's made it really difficult. So if you were a startup business with just a sort of the old style one-man band, I have a feeling they'll be completely gone in the next 5 years. And then it'll only be the more mature businesses that are continuing to go. Charges, of course, are going to become a big thing. Whether or not if that's going to be on advisor charges, I don't know. So we charge 1%, so we are sort of towards the higher end of the market, but we've never had any problems from our clients from that side. They're very happy because we do what we believe to be a very good service. We chuck in little extra things like, so when someone walks in to our office, we don't just offer them a coffee, we give them a drinks menu. So we're trying to do that wow experience as well by having the tiny little stuff that might sound a bit mundane, but it really adds to the client experience. And when they come and see us, we want it to be an experience so that they continue to stay with us. But fee reduction, so eventually if we went to an hourly fee, I think that would be a possible challenge that we may have to focus on in the next few years. But overall for me, it's the shrinking of the industry. It's only going to continue as people retire, which means that from one side, it may end up being dominated by some companies who end up buying each other out. From my own personal side, there's an opportunity there. With many people retiring, I've got longer ahead of me than they do, which means from a business point of view, it should be good.
Okay, great. So, and tell me, if we had a magic wand, what would you have us fix?
For me, I think if we had a magic wand in terms of the industry, I'd get rid of some of the regulation. I think we're over-regulated now. There's too many people working for the FCA who don't maybe do enough. And I think there's too much duplication in what we have to do in terms of reports and so on. And I think it's still vitally important that we're very clear and open. So I never advised in the old world with commissions. I've always been fee-based. So I completely believe that's the best way to be. So there's that side. And I think there's also perhaps some companies they're not as open about their fees. So the vertical integration